Hello, my name is John Wright. I have illustrated Matthew chapter 5, all 48 verses, to make it easy to memorize. I'm using the NIV, not the newest NIV version where they've changed a lot of words, but the older one, because it's just what I'm used to. So I'd like to start off with this little sentence that I made up to give us an outline of the entire chapter. Jesus starts talking about the Beatitudes, and he talks about salt and light. The whole sentence here says, "The beatitude of salt and light fulfills the law. Mad oaths I love for enemies." Now, what that breaks down into is he starts talking about the Beatitudes. He talks about salt and light. You're the salt and light of the earth. He talked about how he came to fulfill the law. Then he talks about murder, adultery, divorce. He talks about oaths. Then he talks about eye for eye and tooth for tooth. Then he talks about love for enemies. Let's get started. You'll notice that there are numbers in each one of these verses or each one of these illustrations. Like this is a 1 and a 2 up here. That lets us know that we're on verses 1 and 2. So watch for those numbers and it'll let you know what verse we're on as we go throughout this whole thing. This right here, this is Jesus, my stick picture of him. Now when he saw the crowds, he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him, and he began to teach them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when men insult you, persecute you, and say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltiness, it's no longer good for anything but to be thrown out and trampled by men. You are the light of the world. A city upon a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do men light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand so that it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law of the prophets. I did not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of a pen will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. Anyone who breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever practices and teaches these commands will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees and the teachers of the law, you will certainly not enter the kingdom of heaven. You've heard that it was said long ago, 'Do not murder,' and anyone who murders will be subject to judgment. But I tell you that anyone who is angry with his brother will be subject to judgment. Again, anyone who says, 'Recha,' will be answerable to the Sanhedrin. But anyone who says, 'You fool,' will be in danger of the fires of hell. Therefore, if you're offering your gift in front of the altar, and remember that your brother has something against you, first leave your gift there in front of the altar. First be reconciled to your brother, then come and offer your gift. Settle matters quickly with your adversary who's taking you to court, or he may hand you over. Do it while you're with him on the way, or he may hand you over to the judge, and the judge may hand you over to the officer, and you may be thrown into prison. I tell you the truth, you will not get out until you have paid the last penny. You have heard that it was said, 'Do not commit adultery.' But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Therefore, if your right eye causes you to sin, gouge it out and throw it away. It's better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It's better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. You've heard that it was said, 'Anyone who divorces his wife must give her a certificate of divorce.' But I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife except for marital unfaithfulness and except for marital unfaithfulness, causes her to become an adulteress, and anyone who marries the divorced woman commits adultery. Again, you have heard that it was said to the people long ago, do not break your oath, but keep the oaths you have made to the Lord. But I tell you, do not swear at all, either by heaven, for it is God's throne, or by the earth, for it is God's footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great King. And do not swear by your head, for you cannot make even one hair white or black. Simply let your yes be yes, and your no, no. Anything beyond this comes from the evil one. You have heard that it was said, eye for eye and tooth for tooth. But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If someone strikes you on the right cheek, turn to him the other also. And if someone wants to sue you and take your tunic, let him have your cloak as well. If someone forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2 miles. Give to the one who asks you. Do not turn away from the one who wants to borrow from you. You have heard that it was said, love your neighbors and hate your enemies. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be sons of your Father in heaven. For He causes His sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain upon the righteous and the unrighteous. If you love those who love you, what reward will you get? Don't even tax collectors do that? And if you greet only your brothers, what are you doing more than others? Don't even pagans do that? Be perfect, therefore, as your heavenly Father is perfect. He's always going to do the right thing.